Yes, I've been talking in many videos about the 2300 evenings and mornings, which is written here in the book of Daniel chapter 8, that Jesus' return coincides with the year 2033 and the Antichrist begins to reign in 2030. Why? It's right here in the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel chapter 12 verse 9, it says, "Go, Daniel, because these words are sealed until the time of the end." Meaning, until the time of the great tribulation, it's sealed. Nobody will understand it. Got it? So they are sealed. Both the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation are books revealing the end times. So the words of these two books are sealed. There is a seal, and the only one capable of removing the seal is God. I prayed throughout my life from age 14 to 40 for God to give me understanding of Revelation. I didn't study much, only completed first grade. It was exactly in 2023 when God spoke to me saying he was opening the seal of the book to give me understanding of the words, prophecies, and the end times. So when God was revealing those words to me, he said, "Preach on social media about the words I tell you today, for through this message I will awaken my people." That's why I began preaching about Revelation online. I learned Revelation directly from God. There is a context, a scenario, an event within this framework. From chapter 8, verse 1 to verse 14, there's a specific scenario and event, but I'll read a few verses so you can understand what I'm trying to explain. "And as I was considering, behold, a male goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. This goat had a notable horn, and it charged at a ram. And this ram had 2 points, 2 horns, which he had seen before the river. Then he ran against it with great force, with all his might, and I saw him approach the ram." Who was it that came close to the ram? The goat. The goat is the Antichrist. He came near the ram, became enraged against the ram, and struck the ram, breaking its 2 horns, for there was no strength in the ram to stand before him. And he threw it to the ground, and trampled it, killed it, and there was none who could deliver the ram from his hand. Usually when I'm reading, God gives me understanding right there, in that moment. This text here is talking about a goat and a ram. First thing, what are you seeing? A ram. A ram is something good. Why? Because God, he asks for the sacrifice of what? Of a ram. God doesn't ask for a sacrifice of a goat. You can't sacrifice goats because God doesn't accept them. So God asks for the sacrifice of a ram, which God accepts. So this ram is someone good. This ram represents the leader of Israel. And today, in 2025, Israel's leader is Netanyahu. And who is the goat? The Antichrist, who I believe is the leader of Iran. So this scenario I just read is happening now. The same book of Daniel tells us about 3 horns that will be plucked out. These 3 horns are mentioned right here in this verse I read to you because the ram has 2 horns. I've done live streams on my YouTube channel explaining which 3 horns will be removed based on my understanding of these contexts. The United States is one of the horns that will be plucked out. It's the first horn to be removed. Since 2024, I've been saying the United States will be taken over by Muslims, and it's already happening. The second horn that will be torn off is Saudi Arabia because the Antichrist is a Shiite and Saudi Arabia is Sunni. So the leader of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, will die and that place will become Shiite, radical Muslims who kill. The last horn to be pulled out is Israel because the Antichrist emerges by waging war on Israel. The Antichrist needs to take Israel to reign, and when he does, he'll kill Israel's leader Netanyahu. This context already speaks of this scenario. You see the goat, which is the Antichrist, standing before the ram, which is Netanyahu. In verse 7, it says he was enraged against the ram, struck him, that's Netanyahu, threw him to the ground and trampled him. He will kill him. But what did he pull out? The 2 points that were on the ram. What are these 2 points? The 2 horns that are with the ram. Who are they? The United States and Saudi Arabia, who stand with Israel. That's it. So look how this text already explains about the horns that will be torn off. And the goat, which is the Antichrist, magnified himself greatly and rose in place of that horn, 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. And from one came a small horn which grew greatly toward the south and east, toward the beautiful land. The Antichrist appears boasting about the beautiful land that is Jerusalem. The Antichrist doesn't emerge bringing peace, because theologians claim he'll arise during war and bring peace, but these texts don't say that. These texts say, the Antichrist appears boasting about the beautiful land that is Jerusalem. Who is boasting about Jerusalem? The Muslim people. But who is the leader of the Muslims? Ali Khamenei, who is the leader of Iran. He is the leader of the Muslims. He's the one paying terrorist groups to invade Jerusalem because they claim Jerusalem is Palestine. So you see, this text is being fulfilled now. He's boasting about the beautiful land and has magnified himself. Who has magnified himself? The Antichrist. And he magnified himself even to the host of heaven. This host of heaven isn't the angels because the Antichrist is a man. He doesn't have